What's up, guys? Welcome to another CryptoSphere. I'm Cyflux. I'm joined together with Sid Vicious, of course. I wanted to talk to you today about the mass amounts of manipulation and FUD that's going around. It's like wildfire spreading through the community. Plenty of people are saying stupid things and not realizing that this takes time. It's a massive web. This isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. It may not happen within the next year, 2 years. These things take time. You're talking about governments being involved. You're talking about these major exchanges getting involved. This all takes time. It's all a giant integration of a new system. So allow that to happen. I saw recently something that was posted by XRP on Twitter. It's something I wanted to read to you guys. I'm just going to read a little short excerpt. I think it was maybe an article. I'm not sure if it was, but whatever it was posted on, I just want to say thank you to XRP for posting it. But it says the takeaway. There's a lot of hype in the blockchain industry, with investors pouring large amounts of money into unproven altcoins and tokens. That XRP is currently valued at 30 cents is something of a mystery. The company has a working product, a strong management team, solid financial backing, and a partner network of large financial institutions. It seems poised to take on the future. It is easy for investors to buy XRP on any of the major digital exchanges like Bitstamp and Poloniex, Binance, Coinbase, Robinhood, the list goes on. We see it as a long-term investment since banks move slowly, and it is likely to take years before the investing public understands the full potential of the technology. I just want you to take that in and understand this takes time. This is not going to happen overnight. These things, you're talking about governments doing something. It takes time. The governments don't like change. They don't want to do things. Banks don't like change. They don't want to change what they originally had. But there are many banks that are hopping on, just like was mentioned in G20, Bank of England. We're moving in that direction. You are going to have these major things, these major climactic events that are going to push other governments and other banks in the same direction because they have to compete. They have to compete. Mm-hmm. And XRP is the best solution right now. So FUD is at an all-time high. And I wanted to talk about the mass amounts of people jumping ship and this whole correlation with Bitcoin and Tether. And so, Sid, do you want to take point on this one?
Yeah, I mean, some of you guys may own some Bitcoin and XRP, but just like what Cyflux is saying, that some of you are just getting a little impatient because Bitcoin's doing this major rally right now, and It just keeps going up. And it's at this time, it's gonna probably head to 6,300 at this rate. Right. Do I think it's gonna go beyond that? There's a lot of resistance right there. But think about this. If this fear factor of making people jump ship from Tether, obviously they legged this thing up. People got spooked because of this Tether scandal with Bitfinex. They both got subpoenaed, right, by the FBI. And now my concern here is like, okay, so they legged up the price. It's not organic. This is not new money coming into the market, guys.
Right.
And now they use the fear to push the Bitcoin price even higher because everyone has to jump ship from Tether because of the nonsense that they got. Now, what are they going to do? I'm wondering, they use these people to jump ship from Tether. They push the price up to 6,000 if they could. And what are they going to do? Do you think they're going to chop their legs off by selling what they just bought in?
Nope.
I don't know. This is very dangerous territory. It's going to cause a lot of problem, a lot of fear. And I know the other flip side to that is like, as an XRP holder, people are dogging on us like, oh yeah, look at XRP guys. You guys aren't doing nothing. Right. And you get this keeping up with the Joneses mentality that like, all these other coins, even shiz coins, are not even doing any, they're pumping, but we're not. in this particular case. So, do we have to move when they move? No, it doesn't work that way. And sometimes they move in different time frames. Like Cardano maybe moving earlier than everyone else, and you see its
Right.
price movement go in its pattern, and then Bitcoin follows suit, and then XRP follows way later. Some
Right.
of these coins move in this behavior. So our time is coming, whether we're going to see this big rally or small rally or medium rally. There is a rally coming. We haven't even done the golden cross, as I kind of mentioned in my other video, my TA video on XRP charts. And we haven't even hit our golden cross yet, guys. Who cares? It's going to happen at some point. It's inevitable. Okay. We could go sideways for quite a while. All right. Don't
Right.
worry about that. And the other thing is, why are you so worried if we already know what is at play here? We already know the inner workings, the partnerships of XRP, where this is all headed. And with this recent news with the Bank of England and its other subsidiaries, think about this, guys. Don't worry about this FUD. This is complete nonsense. Who cares?
Yeah, it's basically used to pull you out of your position. It's used as a weapon, and that's really what it is. You have to look at it as a psychological weapon. There are people playing with emotions, and the biggest mistake you can make as an investor is hopping in with your emotions. I know there's a lot of impatient people that want their money to take off. They want to retire from work, and they're not really thinking about what exactly the big players are doing. They're not really thinking about, how exactly this all plays out and how much time it's going to take. They're looking at win moon and win moon now, and
Yeah.
that's a major issue.
Don't do that, guys. Why they do that is because they don't do their own research.
Right.
They don't believe in the product, right? If you believed in the product, it means you would have looked into it to reconcile with yourself internally to go, there's something behind this. There's something going on here. And, I'm not saying that you need to you don't sell it. I'm just saying understand what it is that you're invested in, and that will alleviate or help you decide what you should do. Okay.
Right. And
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
That's with every coin out there. You can make money on all these coins, okay, guys? But what is behind it, and what do you know about it? And if you're gonna listen to this nonsense, then you obviously don't know enough. And I suggest that you look a little bit deeper and reach out to the community for more answers on that. Okay.
Right. I also wanted to say that I am working on something with Darren. I think that me and Sid are definitely going to be posting stuff up on our channel about it. But he actually made a 65-page document about all the interconnections with Ripple, all the inner workings, all the partnerships. I mean, this thing is absolutely incredible. If you don't follow Darren, you go follow him right now. Okay, it's
We will
Go ahead.
get him on the show. We will get him on the podcast
so
at some point.
I had a conversation with him recently, and I told him, I wanted to have him on. He said that he's going on a trip. He's going to be gone for a little while, so he said after that we'll look into it, and that it is something that he wants to do. So I'm looking forward to that. If you don't follow him, go follow him. It's at FAME21MOORE, which is Fame 21 More, and it's Darren
Right.
Moore on Twitter. Go follow him. If you don't, I'll kill you. So basically, I wanted to also touch on another a FUD point that came up. It was an article that Cointelegraph put out that they were talking about a speaker. I think it wasn't the Bank of India. It was, I can't remember exactly what the speaker, what they were on, or what they were talking about in that perspective, but I know that he was talking about the retail bank and its digital currency, saying that they see a lot of inefficiencies with the retail bank digital currency, which they made it sound like they said Ripple.
Yeah, it
So there was
wasn't Ripple.
it wasn't Ripple, it was retail. And the guy was foreign, so the way that he enunciated his words was a little off. I will have to
Hmm.
figure out where that video was so I can touch back, and I'll even post it in the description so you guys can watch it for yourself. But they ended up completely backpedaling on what they originally had posted, and Cointelegraph took that whole tweet
Didn't they take
down.
it down?
They
Yeah.
took it down completely. So, and that was the Ripple community coming in and being like, I think it was Leonidas that came in and was like, that is not what was said. It was Ripple, not retail. And so
Right,
they
right.
completely backpedaled, took it down, and this is just another example of the crazy amounts of FUD that go around and people take in and they're like, oh shit, jump ship, and they don't realize they're being manipulated.
It's like more. I said this before, but a lot of you have not heard me say it. But we're gonna see more and more and more. And you know what? Knowing that the fact that if they don't activate the utility of XRP, we're gonna be going through this extended sideways action for quite a while. Okay, so think about this. They're gonna try to leverage that, and we're gonna see it even more. They're like, "Oh, look at you guys, XRP. You guys suck. Everything is not. You're not getting no action. You guys are missing out." But you know what? If you look back then in 2015, yeah, even Bitcoin still went up. And what was XRP? It was flat. It was flat for almost a year
Right.
before we rallied up to like 7,000% in
Right.
like within 50 days. Okay, so think about that. We may be following the same kind of pattern here, but maybe it comes a little bit sooner. I don't know, but don't worry about it. It's coming. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't let
and
yeah,
don't
don't
let
let
the
the
FUD get
FUD.
to you.
Yeah.
The I wanted to mention XRP, and its utility. You guys need to focus on that. Like, focus on the utility. What is it made for? Look at the partnerships. They continue to dominate their competitors. You have more and more banks moving towards this new infrastructure, and this is a massive global scale. You got Temenos, Earthport, Finstra, ECS, TCS, all working in partnership with Ripple. And all these companies are basically creating softwares that provide central banks and governments to integrate with Ripple's API. So they don't have to work directly with Ripple to be a partner. It's about the partnerships that Ripple has and their partners. You know what I'm saying? It's the partners within partners, the plans within plans within plans. So be aware of the interconnection of all of these things, that you don't necessarily need to focus on, oh, they didn't say Ripple or XRP. It's not always about that. It's about who these companies are tied to and what direction they're moving towards.
Right.
If you don't think that banks and these major companies are going to be moving in the direction of what's cheaper for us, what makes us fatter, what makes us faster, what makes us better, you're crazy. I mean, it makes so much sense that David Schwartz even coming out and saying the whole banks are looking at and exploring towards XRapid. I mean, those things are happening, and they're happening every day. It's just those things are going to take time, and they're not going to give away their playbook. You know what I mean? They're not going to give it away. Much of the information is under NDA. They can't really say much about these things.
Yeah. I mean, and look at it from a project standpoint that Xcurrent has already been implemented for the majority of these banks, right? That's just to get them like the keys to doing this. And then XRapid is to be utilizing XRP for their transactions.
Right.
Obviously, behind the scenes, there's other things at play that need to happen. But I mean, it's coming, guys. It really is.
It is
Yeah.
coming. I also wanted to touch on. I know that you had brought up Fidelity at one point, and you had talked to somebody within Fidelity, Abigail. Is that something you want to bring up?
Yeah. So, with the company that I work at, they did a 401k rollover from Charles Schwab. And so obviously I had to really haggle with my self directed accounts. Um, and for all of you out there, do you think I want my fiat stuck in my retirement funds? No, I know that the S&P 500 is going to be tanking here in who knows within the distant future here.
Right.
But to hedge against that, I've moved all of my assets, all my funds to GBTC. And I've basically, this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing for my 401k. It's just peanuts, but maybe I could turn those peanuts into walnuts in this case, following Bitcoin's speculative price run in the next 2 to 3 years. So I I had to talk to their some of their reps at Fidelity, and I kind of brought up hinted the notion of like, hey, what are you guys doing over there with the digital assets? And they try to mutter, they don't really want. I could tell they know what I'm talking about, but they try to act stupid. And I go, hey, it's okay, man. I'll say it for you. All right. You guys are rolling out your digital assets. It's not for Joe Schmucks like myself. It's only for, institutional investors. But, what's Abigail doing over there? And so after I talked about maybe about six of them, one of them kind of opened up a little bit because I was kind of being funny with him and sharing my idea about XRP and where that's all headed and what's going on with Bitcoin. And he seemed to be a little bit interested about it, and he was like, yeah, actually we are kind of rolling this out, but it's 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 just we have to do our pay structure for all the employees. And obviously, we can only work with institutional investors as a pilot program. And then eventually, we've kind of gotten a good grasp of that, is what they're kind of saying. And then they'll eventually open it up to the public sphere and eventually do a rollout. But he says he doesn't know when that is. It's going to be possibly next year, maybe 2020. So is it look like the pilot program is for institutional investors for this first run for 2019, and then they're going to open it up to the public space maybe 2020, maybe 2021. I mean, think about that. They're trailblazing this, and think about all the other entities like Charles Schwab, Merrill Lynch, and I actually
Yeah.
reached out to Merrill Lynch, and they're like, no, we would never do anything as such high risk for these. You guys call them digital assets. They're not even an
Right.
asset class, and
Right.
and now they're actually changing their tune. But I actually had to talk to these guys. I'll call all these entities myself and kind of prod them, and eventually you get someone to talk a little bit. After you kind of spruce it up with what and they will kind of. I like, look, dude, this is you're no different than me, and don't you want to make some serious money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they kind of like, I was like, I know they don't pay you that much, and it's not to say that I'm undermining them or anything, but it's just showing like, hey, I'm on your side, dude,
Yeah.
and look at what they're using you, and they're gonna funnel all of us into their portfolio platform and try to milk us on all these transactions. And so I would share with him what I know, and then they kind of like, I mean, they'll really chat it up sometimes. So these guys who are the employees of these institutions, those people are just like us, but what's above them is their leadership and what their plans are. They're all doing it,
Yep.
all of them. I mean, there's not a single one that I have not found that is not backpedaling. They were before. Now they got their foot in their mouth because now Fidelity has basically opened this can of worms, and it's awesome.
Yeah. And just to leave this off with you, just to end this off, I want you guys to really sit back and think about this. If NASDAQ came out and all of a sudden put up that the XRP liquid index is live on their platform, I mean, this just goes to show that XRP is a big dog, and it's something that they're taking seriously. They wouldn't put it up on NASDAQ if it wasn't a serious, if people weren't seriously looking at it as an asset. So think about that before you allow the FUD to consume you. I think there is so much there that you just don't know about. So do your research, understand what's coming. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but also question the people that are spreading FUD before you believe it and jump ship. It's just not a smart idea. Don't allow your emotions to cloud your judgment. Good luck to you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this CryptoSphere. Make sure to catch us on the next one. If you have questions, ask in the comments, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys.